Hey yo, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet, and welcome back to Redneck Radio, where today you get an extra side helping of meh, who the heck cares?
Mm.
With me, as always, is Irate Bear.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well on this glorious Thursday. The weather is beautiful. It's nice and warm in the UK. Yes, I know you probably all think I'm lying, but as we say in the Navy, Jen dit, no shit. How are you today, Mr. Wing?
I just kind of woke up feeling meh. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
need a little help getting excited about something, anything, something today. So maybe we'll find it. But
something.
yeah, just anything, you know.
Well, I mean, without wishing to give away my next video, in fact, okay. So there are two videos that I've made today, and I'm actually uploading one of them to the main channel right now, so I can have it ready for a few days' time. And it's a lady, an Indian lady from Canada. I know, right? Do you know how jarring it is to hear an Indian lady speak with a Canadian accent? I
Hey,
guess that's
my
just from
name
my.
is Bob. I want to talk to you about.
You can hear it in her accent. You know, you hear a boot in the first like minute or so. It's like, eh. But she did a video on who has privilege, and some of the things she was saying in her video, man,
And for
really
the
just.
Canadians out there in the chat, I'm not sorry. So
He's not sorry, and he can say that because he's American.
that's right. I'm American. Heck yeah.
He'll run you over with his NASCAR branded mobility scooter.
Heck with that. I'll just get my pick 'em up truck.
It has racing straps, people.
It does. It does. Yeah, and in case I was just thinking earlier, not to get us up, we'll get back to what you was just saying, but uh, I was looking out my back window, out the back kitchen window, and I'm like, if there's any question, I live in a redneck neighborhood. This solves it right here, because just out my back window, I counted 8 pickup trucks. 8.
Eight.
That's not even counting my own in the driveway. And that's not counting if I looked out any of the other windows, which I would probably see just as much from any view out of my house. So yeah, it's pick 'em up truck central around here.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I like pickup trucks. I like the look of them.
So do rednecks.
That's probably why I'm an honorary redneck, because I really like the look of them.
There you go.
Mm. This lady, the things that she was saying was just insane. I think it was about a week ago now, maybe a bit longer. Some a black Jewish guy, leftist supremacist type individual. You know the sort I'm talking about.
Right.
Started the hashtag my white guilt. Some of you may have seen it. And some of you may have ended up arguing with a few people in this thread. Seriously, right? Go to Twitter, and you, Bloodwing, you can do this as well. If you wanted some content, go to Twitter and type in hashtag my white guilt, and you will see the cancer. You will see the cancer. There is a bit of pushback, but not as much as I thought there would be.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Hi, next Saul. Pumpkin Truck says, how many pickup trucks on blocks? None. So I must live in the rich part of the ghetto.
Yes.
Yeah, but it all depends on the brand of pickup trucks. Got to remember that, Bloodwing. There was Fords, there was Chevys, there was Dodges. None of them foreign Toyota or Nissan ones, though.
All of the
Get that foreign crap right on out of here. Any muscle cars on blocks in the backyard? Kyler says everywhere. I am always amazed. I mentioned this, I think, a couple of streams ago, that you guys don't hear more loud cars go by, because just behind my head is the wall to the outside of the house. And on that side of the house, the road is only about 12 to 15 feet away. So I'm just amazed that it's like I hear it all day long, but as soon as I start my stream, they quit going by.
I actually live further away from the road than you do, and there's always this guy every few days. He bombs it down the road because there's no speed bumps where I live. Well,
Mhm.
no speed bumps for the straight of road that I live in front of, and he bombs it down there on his motorbike, and it's just ridiculously loud.
Oh, we get we've got a few bikers that live in the neighborhood. Imagine that, redneck bikers. Who'd have thought that? But yeah, they're mostly good old American Harley Davidson with no muffler, not even the pretense of a muffler. So yeah, they get pretty loud. They frustrate the heck out of my wife because when they go by, you can't hear yourself think.
Yeah, I
But
bet. And a
yeah,
hooroo to you too, Dectran.
yeah.
A hooroo.
What white guilt, huh? Well, I'm sorry, folks, but I have none. I have no white guilt. I'm white, and so what?
The lady in her video pointed out and kind of singled out a tweet from a white gentleman who had stated that he works 7 days a week and can barely afford to eat and like cover rent and all of his bills and stuff, which I know happens. I know there are a lot of people that are in that kind of situation that work 6 7 days a week, 60 70 plus hours, you know, and still can't afford a decent apartment or house and a nice car and enough food to cover themselves and their family. It does absolutely happen. It happens here in the UK as well.
I know tons of stories like that personally. I mean, it sounds
Yeah.
like my family.
Yeah, and there was a gentleman who wanted to argue against the hashtag, saying, where's my privilege when I'm working my ass off, and the lady in the video was like, well, we're not saying that you don't have any struggles. We're just saying that there are certain obstacles that you as a white person can't actually, won't have to deal with.
Like what? Getting into college? Excuse me, but the minorities have a big leg up on me getting into college.
Well, yeah, they're all younger than you.
Well, besides the younger.
No, I know they have their race-specific scholarships in America, don't they?
Affirmative action, folks. It's time for that to go bye-bye.
Yep, I know in America you guys have race-based scholarship programs for Blacks and Hispanics and so on, which are funded by much larger organizations as well. But yeah, I was just like, really, bitch, you're going to have the audacity to sit here and complain about, people being stopped by the police as if white people don't get stopped by the police.
Just prior to the stream, not even a half hour, there was at least half a dozen cops a half a block away from my house. I was watching it out the kitchen window. I couldn't tell what was going on, but I could see all the lights and everything.
Curtain twitcher.
But it's nothing uncommon in my neighborhood, and it is 99.9% white.
White.
Yeah.
Mm.
Who white?
Well, the way she was talking was as if to say, white people just can't get stopped and searched by the police. They can't be harassed or shot by the police.
Oh, please. Let me tell you a story right here real quick. Real quick. This has been a few years ago when my kids were much younger. And I don't know, J Kid being the oldest was probably about, I don't know, 16 maybe? 15 or 16. Anyway, my wife and I were going through some marriage problems at the time, and we'd separated for a short while. No shame in admitting that. We later worked it out. But anyway, at the time, the kids and I were staying at my parents' house, and it was Sunday. We were going to church, and I packed them up in the minivan I had at the time, and we're all dressed in our best, our Sunday best, because I'm a believer that if you go to church, you ought to put something on better than jeans. It's just respect. But that's just me. If you feel differently, good on you. But so we're in our, the girls are all in frilly dresses, and J Kid's all cleaned up for a change. And And we're heading down the road. And for some reason, my mind, you know how it is. You get to driving, your mind wanders. And for whatever reason, my mind wasn't on what I was doing. And at the end of the edge of the neighborhood, I took a wrong turn. I turned the wrong direction. I don't know why. I just did.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, crap, I got to get turned around. So the first place I could find to turn around was apartments. And these apartments are what what would you call them? These are Section 8 apartments is what we call them around here. They're for low income people.
Oh, council estate.
Yeah, it's like that. So
Okay.
all I did was pull in there and do a U-turn and go to turn around and pull back, right? To get back on the road, go the other direction. Soon as I started into my U-turn, I'm swarmed by 3 police officers, police cars. Swarmed, blocking my way out, blocking my way to back up. They just were all over me like a SWAT team.
Like a tramp on chips.
I'm telling you what. And they start asking me questions. What am I doing here? Why am I pulling in here? And well, I didn't realize, I couldn't turn around here. And here we are in our Sunday best. I guess come to find out that there were people in a van matching slightly the description of my van that had been ripping off apartments in that complex. Okay. But I'm like, you can't see I got kids with me and I'm dressed up, wasn't like I was in a suit, but I probably did have a tie on, come on now. But my point is, white people can't get pulled over for no reason. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, my immediate reaction was, oh my God. I was like, really? Really, bitch? To kind of disprove her point, because it really did sound like she was saying white people got it good. Yeah, white people never get harassed. White people never get shot. What white people have no obstacles in life other than the typical financial issues. Yeah, they don't face racial oppression. And I was like, right, okay, well, I'm going to get some data from America if I can find some on stop and searches. Just as a nice soft fuck off. And I went and had a look at New York statistics for 2011. Right. And you want to know how many times white people were searched in New York in 2011?
How many?
61,000 times.
Not a surprise.
Now, granted, I will concede that blacks were ridiculously overrepresented in the stop and search department. And the data suggests that 90% of the time they were innocent, and it was well over 300,000 or so. And there needs to be a look at that, right? Because that's a little bit ridiculous.
Am I saying that racial profiling doesn't happen? No, of course I'm not.
Yeah,
that would be an idiotic statement. But to claim that white people never go through that is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which reminds me, if we have time at the end and we do story time, remind me, Bear, because you have a slightly better memory than I do, only slightly better.
About 2% more.
That this is the subject that reminded me of a story I'll tell of when I got pulled over, what I went through as a older teenager. Just to point it out, it's kind of a humorous story, but kind of points out that these people are full of crap.
Yeah.
Of course, these are the same people that say that, you can't be racist against white people.
Yeah. I pointed out, I said, okay, well, look at my subscribers as an example. You got Pumpkin Trucker there. 30% of his income goes directly to medication, another 40% to various taxes. He's so privileged.
Yeah.
There's so many of my subscribers, I just work these long hours. They work 12, sometimes plus 12 hours a day for 6-7 days a week, and the only reason why they're able to, watch my content or, comment on my content is because they do things like trucking and stuff like that. And they're able to listen to the video and, stop and comment whenever, they have a break or whatever. I'm like, these people can't afford healthcare.
Right. Don't get me started.
Yeah. So it's like, you joking? It's
Yeah.
Like I despise this because it's so racially divisive and dividing.
Yeah.
Using the term white privilege and perpetuating the ideas behind it is it's fighting bigotry with bigotry.
Yeah.
On one hand, you're selling the idea that all people of color, by the way, that term, not funny.
Yeah.
Not cool either. You're perpetuating the idea that, you know, the colored folks, they're all victims and that all white people are racist.
Yeah. Well, just to make that point, my wife just walked in. Honey, how much do you pay a week for us to have insurance? $118 a week.
God damn.
Just for you and I?
Yeah, and that's just for me and her.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, $118 a week. And that's insurance with a huge deductible that you must cover. You know, that doesn't cover everything. You have to approve it. So yeah, we're so privileged. Hey, Blind Press, did you get my reply DM to you? She was inviting me to a stream tomorrow, and I said yes, as long as she reminds me sometime tomorrow morning, because I'll forget.
And Jack brings up a fantastic point, and it's a point that I brought up in my video. Profiling is an important tool. Guys in business suits don't go around robbing convenience stores. I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about people's experiences and what they've seen and experienced themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was a teenager, I was walking home from a friend's house at night and I had a hoodie on. There was a white woman about, I don't know, maybe 10 meters ahead of me, and she kept looking back, you know, and I knew what she was thinking. So eventually, when I was able to, I diverted up an alleyway to kind of put her mind at rest. I understand what she's thinking and feeling when she's looking back at me like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that there's privilege involved there.
No.
It's just people's experiences and what they're likely to, like, what's likely to happen to them.
RJ Bansma says you have monkey memory. The only difference is monkeys is caused mostly by medication. Mine's old age. Different reasons. But and I've had this conversation usually when I face people that are extremely prejudiced. You know, when people have problems, it's natural to look around for a reason why. And if they can't be honest with themselves and realize that the problem is probably them, they start looking for other people to blame. So this whole white privilege thing is just all it is just blaming your shortcomings on someone else.
It's absolutely avoiding responsibility is what it is. You know, because what got me is that you've got this Canadian Indian chick, you know, trying to sell me these ideas very poorly as well, I might add. Editing exists for a reason, darling. Come on, right? And my mind's just gone fucking blank. So this is why I prefer writing videos than live streaming. What was I saying?
You're asking me?
No, that's it. That's it. Responsibility. She's trying to push away the idea of responsibility, and she's trying to put the blame all on the institutions and the white people and all that good studge. When, you know, she's not looking at the actual problems here, the actual root of the problems. Why not look at the black community and go, right, this is where the crime's coming from. Why are they doing it? You know,
right?
Why not perpetuate the idea of black community and black leadership and black entrepreneurialism? Yeah, that was the biggest word that's going to come out of my mouth today.
I'm a huge believer in personal responsibility. I've preached that for decades now. Being responsible for your own self and for your own actions and your own shortcomings. Necrosol says I'm paying about $112 a week for him and one child, and he has VA. Yeah, to put it in perspective, my wife works for FedEx, which is not a small company. It's a huge employer. In fact, it is the largest employer in Indianapolis. And so, yeah, they're known for their benefits. So, yeah, if I pay that much, I can't imagine how much other people in smaller companies are paying.
I find all this incredibly frustrating. You know, they do not want to take personal responsibility for anything. They just want to
No.
blame it all on another group of people.
Well, of course, because that's more comfortable and it's easier to do that than to look at yourself and realize, well, maybe I made some mistakes.
Yeah.
Like showing up, with your to a job interview with your britches hanging down past your butt cheeks, or showing up with tattoos all up and down the side of your face and across your neck.
Yeah, you kind of have to realize that, why do people have these, preconceptions about you? Why would they look at you or even see your name, which could be, particularly ethnic, and then make assumptions about you based on stereotypes?
And in chat, before any of you start going off, I'm not against tattoos. I have one myself. My children are tattooed nuts. I keep telling them, look, you got a problem. Back away. They're all three covered in ink. But it's not on their face and neck and places that show, that aren't readily able to cover up. That's my point. Come on. You walk in looking like that, an employer looks at you, and you can scream all you want to, well, they're judging me. Yeah, of course they're judging you. You're a potential employee. You're going to represent their company.
Yeah. Your ball bags.
Yeah. And there's a lot of reasons, it's and the way you carry yourself and the attitude you give off, and oh my gosh,
if you come off as like a belligerent asshole covered in tattoos, why would they hire you?
They're not gonna.
What would you hire that person? You know what I mean? Like, no. Especially customer role jobs,
Yeah, I'm so privileged that I haven't been I haven't worked for 4 years. Yeah, I'm so privileged. Yeah. But white privilege.
Yeah, I find the very concept to be incredibly offensive, if I'm honest. And I hate to sound like a snowflake, but I do find it genuinely offensive.
Well, was there a time when that was true? Absolutely, there was.
Sorry, I've got notifications going off here, and it's coming through my speaker and not my headphones.
That's why I was complaining earlier, just before the stream. Like, stop it with the notifications while I'm trying to stream.
Sorry, I'm going to look for my settings. I've got someone messaging me on Facebook.
But was there a time where whites were very privileged above everyone? Of course there was. I would be completely dumb to ignore the fact that there's some dark times in our history. Some terrible times, bad times, but those are long past. So much so now that I would go so far to say that if you're not white, you have more privilege than I do. You're going to find it easier to get into college or get into a job or whatever. All you got to do is take the step. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And this is the point that I brought up in the video. I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend and make silly statements that, that black people or just POCs in general don't get harassed, because we know it does happen. Doesn't happen as often as they try to make out that it does. No. But it does happen. And there are some horrendous cases where people end up being shot when they really shouldn't have. And, the rules of engagement have been broken and things like that, but it doesn't happen that often. Did you hear it that time?
Yeah.
You did hear it?
Just slightly.
It's supposed to come through my freaking headphones. Oh my god.
Jay Wolf, hey, better late than never. I always say. Hey, Ancat Jack, hey y'all, how much of the show did I miss? Just 24 minutes or thereabouts. 26 maybe. Not too much. And while I'm at a little bit of a lull in my thought process, please like and share the stream because YouTube's not going to help me out with that. And if you want to go a little further and can help an old man out, there are links to my Streamlabs and to my Patreon in the description. I hope to get super chats back up, but I'm not going to open it back up until I at least get a response from AdSense, who still have not responded to me, and it's been a week. So,
oh, for
screw
God's
you,
sake.
AdSense.
Pain in the ass.
I'm telling you. RJ Banzma, would you want one of those 2019 GMC Cyclones right here? It'd be nice, but I wouldn't want the payments. So that's where my mind goes immediately. Like, no, I don't want the payments. I buy old junk that I can get for cheap. So, okay, that was our rant on white privilege. I guess we have to address the biggest story of the day, even though I'm not all that triggered. The Mueller report, and that's what the title, only his hairdresser knows for sure. Those that are older know that that's an old hair dye commercial that they used to run in the United States that I think it was Clairol. So only her hairdresser knows for sure, if her hair's dyed or not. And everybody picks on Trump's hair, and it does look pretty ridiculous. You'd think a rich guy like him could afford a better hairdo. But the Mueller report. And I must be in the minority, but I seen all that stuff when I opened up my Twitter, and I slept in today because I didn't sleep very well overnight.
Same, actually.
Yeah, I opened it up, and I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's exactly what I expected. Let's be honest. I didn't expect them to find anything. And also, as expected, the left is crying, well, you got to give us the unredacted, and it's more the same old. Yes, it looks a little bad that he appeared to try to cover it up. Remember, that's what got Nixon, folks. It wasn't the break-in, because it was absolutely proven that Nixon had no foreknowledge of the break-in at the Watergate. But once he did find out, he tried to cover it up, and that's what got him.
I had Bloodwing explain that one to me because I had no idea.
Yeah, but yeah.
What's that sound?
That's just the way I felt today from the time I woke up. It's like, yeah, so I'm just not able to get as excited as some people are about the Mueller report. This has gone on so long, and it's really didn't turn out any different than I expected. Okay. Okay. They didn't find anything. Surprise, surprise. And surprise, surprise, the left is still banging the drum.
Of course.
I know he's got to be guilty. Just keep looking. He's got to be. So, yeah, nothing unexpected there.
The Mueller report, if memory serves, was to look into Russian collusion, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Was there anything else it was looking into?
Not really. That was the main point of it. And they found nothing. Technically, Trump is absolutely innocent of the charges. Best they could find was, he was working with people that worked for him were working with some Russians to build some things. But that's not illegal.
Oh.
you know, so yeah, I don't know. I'm just not able today to get as excited about that as some of y'all, and I know you do. And if you are excited about it and all up, good on you, and you go on. But that's just not me today. I don't know.
RJ Bansby, your government's been spying on us, not Russia.
Yeah, and NK Jack says, wasn't it also looking at obstruction? Yes, they were looking at whether he was trying to obstruct the investigation. And so, yeah, it come back pretty much negative. There were some things in there that looked a little like a little bad on him, but that's all it was. You know, there was nothing concrete that showed that Trump done anything wrong whatsoever. And of course, now we've already got Kamala Harris with what do they call those tweets that got the check mark underneath it? They're tweets that people pay for to get circulated.
Oh, sponsored tweets.
Sponsored tweets saying we should see the unredacted. The unredacted. We deserve to see the unredacted.
I blocked Sainsbury's and Tesco's for that shit.
Look, there's a reason a lot of that was redacted, and it's because it contained private information or information that could be have an adverse effect on ongoing investigations and other things, or be a danger of other people. You know, no, we don't have to see all that's redacted. And I sure wouldn't want Kamala Harris with that information. Good God.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the main story today. Sorry if that disappoints you, folks. Sorry.
I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. Okay, so I have a topic for you.
Alrighty.
And I'd like to know your thoughts on it. I'm
Okay.
sure you must have seen it on Twitter. Eric Butts. Does his name ring a bell?
Yeah, but I'm not sure why.
Eric Butts is the reactionist YouTuber who recently watched and began crying with joy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, to the Star Wars trailer. Now, the internet proceeded to come down heavy on the guy.
Yes, it did.
There are two camps. One with a group of people supporting him and thinking that it was lovely to see somebody so passionate and get so emotional about something that they love.
Yeah.
And the other side, of course, led by Paul Joseph Watson and a few other people, used him as an example of the fall of Western man.
I know. And then there was the other chick that said he was undateable, and all these people are undateable.
But basically saying people that are into like geek nerd culture are undateable men or whatever, because of how into it they get.
And here's the thing, and I put out a tweet, I think yesterday on it. When I first seen that video clip of him getting teary-eyed, getting tearful while watching the Star Wars trailer, I'll admit I cringed. I'm like, oh, guy, no, no. But that does not mean that I'm looking down on him for doing that. It's just not something I would have done. I'm not against being passionate about anything. As a matter of fact, I kind of have the reputation of being a tough old bird, a man's man, perhaps, if you will, But if you think that means that I haven't got teary-eyed over things that some of you would find silly, you're wrong. There's things I'm passionate about. I've got teary-eyed watching movies and movie trailers, certain things that affect. I get teary-eyed with certain if a song reaches out and touches me, which good art should touch you. I've admitted it before. I get teary-eyed when I hear the American national anthem every time. There's nothing wrong with being passionate enough to get tears in your eyes over something. And I don't care if you're a man or a woman.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the video, I was like, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh no, dude."
Yeah.
This is probably a bad move
Exactly
for you.
how I
But
felt about it. Yeah, like, oh no, you're gonna hear about it now. And I wasn't wrong.
yes, I just assumed that when I saw it, people would just meme him a bit, and that would be it. I didn't realize that there'd be so many people out there trying to drive a political narrative from it, though. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
And functional, I do realize that it's more about the whole Star Wars thing than anything else. I get that, but so what? If I don't like the new Star Wars movies. I haven't watched the last one yet, and I may not. I don't know. I'm not a real fan of them. But if he is, so what? There's no skin off my teeth.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't hurt me in the least. If he enjoys it, great. I mean, look at how many people liked the Twilight series, and I absolutely hated it. My wife's over here raising her hand. She loved it.
Oh no,
I can't stand it.
My sister and my niece loved it so much that my sister flew herself and my niece, her daughter, out to New York to watch it for the weekend.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
But no, I don't care if you want to make fun of the guy, right? He put himself out on the internet.
Yeah.
He cried in a video. I fully expect that shit. I don't care. But to derive a political narrative from it is pathetic. And Paul Joseph Watson really annoyed me when he started getting hammered with criticism and then proceeded to double down with an article saying, "Oh, leftists are now crying at me," even though it was a lot of right-wing people. And I saw the reply to his tweet, and it was full of right-wing people saying, "No, I'm right-wing, and I think this was a bad move on your part."
Functional says, "Yeah, well, I've seen pictures and footage of Hitler Youth crying at his speeches." Well, yeah, I have too. But that's not what this is about. It's about being passionate about something. And I'm not going to come down on you just because you're passionate enough to shed tears over seeing something. Now, if it were me, I probably wouldn't have recorded that and showed it on the internet.
If I found myself blubbering at a Star Wars trailer of all things, that would not have been uploaded.
Real quick. Thank you, the Batman, for the donation. Feel better money. Hey, thanks, man. I could take it. I actually feel pretty good. I'm still a little ginger, having a little hard time getting around in some ways, moving, but I'm healing pretty good. But thank you.
Oh, Mr. Dax, yeah. And the thing is, someone once showed me Two Girls, One Cup, and I nearly threw up everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will admit I've seen it years and years ago.
I like Paul Joseph Watson. I agree with a lot of the things he says, but in recent months, the guy's coming off as the friggin' fun police.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. I mean, there's just nothing wrong with being people. Like I've said, I can sit here and, I'm a music lover. You all know I'm a music lover. I've talked about music on this channel, and one of my favorite rock groups is the band Rush. And I really, really respect just how good they are. And how well put together and how difficult their pieces are. And I will sit here, and there's certain songs they have that I will sit here, and I swear to God, I cannot get through them without getting teary-eyed because it touches me. Well,
I mean, music is an art form, and it's supposed to inspire some emotion.
I mean, exactly. Video games. I'm going to tell you what, I've cried at video games.
The end of Mass Effect 3.
And I'm looking at you, Gears of War, make me cry.
The end of Mass Effect 3.
Oh.
I didn't cry, I just had a lump in my throat. I won't cry, you'll cry.
Yeah, or even sillier than that, Borderlands 2 when they killed Bloodwing, who is not me. It's a female bird spelled differently. But Mordecai, who was Bloodwing's owner, was my favorite character from the first one and still is my favorite. And I'm like, no, you can't kill Bloodwing. I cried. I didn't blubber. I got some tears in my eyes. You know. Yeah. If you're not able to do that, folks, what's wrong with you? Do you not have feelings? Is there nothing you're passionate about?
Yeah, and of course, there were a few people in the replies to Paul Joseph Watson, right-wing people, I might add, that showed pictures of soccer fans.
And Cap Jack says, "You guys cry for video games, effing pups." Yeah, come say that to my face.
I'll bite you.
Love you, man.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
they had pictures of guys crying at football, at soccer, because of how passionate they get. Is that a sign of an entire generation of Western beta bitches? I think not. And I bet you wouldn't say it to their faces either, because you'd get knocked out.
Hey, Grisella. Glad
Grizz.
you're able to pop in at least for a little bit.
Grizz,
And I promise I'm going to find a way to use that thumbnail. But if you've never done a live stream, you don't maybe know, but there's no way I can figure out, if you're just doing a straight Google Hangout like I do, to insert a different thumbnail. What it does is it uses the banner that's on your channel. And so, yeah, when I figure out how to get the thumbnail in there, I'm going to be using your artwork.
And Grizz, I did reply to you on the IRA Alex community tab section, the post that I put up yesterday. You gave me just that one post, which was very well thought out. I could tell Grizz spent a long time writing out that post. Very well thought out post. I really, really, really appreciate the feedback, mate. And you actually gave me an idea for a comedy skit type video for the future. So thank you, Grizz.
But I get it. I know some of you out there claim to be emotionless and not have, but and I get that. Okay. But most people are able to feel emotion. Give you an example. Just in recent news, when Notre Dame was burning, I shed a tear because it affected me, and good grief. If you think that a man showing emotion, regardless of what it's over and how silly it's over, like I said, I would have told this guy when I first seen it, I was like, oh no, guy, no, oh no. Oh Lord, no. But it doesn't mean that I don't understand having passion about something. I may not agree with what you have passion about, but you have every right, and there's nothing wrong with you if you're passionate about something.
Yeah, and that was kind of a segue to Shill, my IRA Alex video, which I'm going to release after the stream. It's about that. It's about that.
Yeah. Okay, it's coming a little early today, but Bear, take the stream reins for just a minute. I've got to run to the bathroom.
It's really early today, actually.
It is, but that's been happening to me today. I'm not surprised the way today's going.
What, are we 45 minutes in?
About that.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Coolio. What's up, guys? I hope you're all well. I hope you're having a lovely Thursday. It's been a beautiful day here in Northwest England today. The weather's been very nice. It's been lovely and warm. I actually didn't need to wear my hoodie in my office. And just bearing in mind, my office is always freezing. It just, I've only got one window in here, and it's a frosted glass window to the back garden, which doesn't get much in the way of sunlight. So Arabella, did you fix that hair? No. Why would I fix my hair? It's already perfect. Men are only allowed to cry for reasons in their lives only when the passing of loved one, birth of their child, wedding day, to mourn the passing of their sex life, and when your vehicle is wrecked. Fair enough, mate. See you later, Kyla. You have a good one, mate. Ariba, how are you? I'm not bad. Thank you very much for asking, RJ. How are you? Want me to send you that article I sent Bloodwing on the GMC Cyclone? Did you send it to Bloodwing for the news? By any chance? Your office probably isn't insulated. No, it's not. Again, my office, there's a reason why I call it the shoffice. These houses were thrown up in the 60s, and they have these, what I would call brick sheds attached to them. When they went up, they never bothered putting any flooring, no electrics, no heating. This room wasn't even... It didn't have any flooring whatsoever, had nothing. It was just concrete floor, no insulation, no nothing. So, I used my donation money from my, Irate Bear and Irate Alex and whatnot, and I managed to convert it, but it's still not a proper room. The reason why I have electric in here now is because I have extensions feeding through a gap in the door, along with all my wires and stuff. I've got this kind of like pillow thing, but it's not a pillow that's supposed to prevent the cold air from getting in, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And a curtain, which doesn't really do anything either. Tell Drunkle he's a closet Frenchman. You tell him, RJ Bansman. I did, but I'll tag it in it if need be. I'm sure Mr. Wing will grab that article when he comes back. Tack up some furring strips, insulation, and some paneling. I need to save up some more pennies, to be honest, to do this room up a bit more. Do you have extensions? I have electric extensions, yes. As in plugs that, lead through to my room with like 6 plug sockets in them.
What, you don't have any hair extensions, like the braids and stuff?
No, my hair's natural, darling.
Oh, I decided to refresh my cup of coffee while I was up. So
of course you did. I also have an electric heater in here, which one of the stands underneath it is broken, so it's currently standing on a broken off stand as well. But it'll do, It's just like Bloodwing would tell you, it's redneck engineering.
That's right.
This entire room is redneck engineering. My lighting, Bloodwing, you'll love this, mate. It's a plank. It's a plank of wood that is being held up to the ceiling by string, and the string is attached to nails that have been bashed into the ceiling. And the lighting is light strips wrapped around. There's 3 of them wrapped around all the way from one end to the other.
Yeah. Hey, man. Give me a pair of ice grips, some duct tape, some chicken wire, and I can fix anything.
Black masking tape, mate.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow, Owen Harmon. That's a bit harsh.
What do you say, Bear? I'll send you 100 pounds for if you do a very where you punch Drunken Uncle in his stupid face.
I don't think he's a fan.
Yeah.
Which is fine. There are people who don't like me, and there are people who don't like many other creators.
Well, there's people that don't like me. Can you imagine that? People
who doesn't
that
like
don't
you?
like me?
Who doesn't like you?
Oh my gosh. All joking aside, I know that I am not for everybody. I'm a bit of an acquired taste. I'm not a manic talk a mile a minute guy. I don't do a lot of jump cuts in my videos. I don't, But having said that, I have said before, and I will continue to say, my subscribers are the best on the internet. And with that in mind, why are we sitting at only 27 likes?
Well, 28 I can see.
Okay.
That includes my like on the stream.
Well, and Duck Dog's dislike. You know he did it.
Of course, yeah. The second I saw him, I knew. I'm fairly sure he does it to my videos as well.
Yeah. Well, and I know, we both know that it doesn't hurt anything. I get so cracked up at people that get so fired up about, it's a dislike. Oh my God. So what? It's interaction. It doesn't hurt a thing.
Yeah, man. So some of my videos on my main channel have received quite a bit of dislikes in their time.
Yeah. Okay. So what?
Yeah. My most viewed video, which has nearly 7,000 likes, but it has it has about 1,600 dislikes on it as well. Doesn't bother me. It's all interaction.
Yeah, I mean, here's my outlook, guys. If you don't like me, I don't care. I like me, and that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Like me.
I do have better ratios than other videos, though, I must admit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we can do some news, huh?
We can.
Yeah. Areas hit by tornadoes on Saturday at risk. Oh boy, the storms rolled through here last night. Oh my gosh.
No.
It's one of the reasons I didn't sleep too well. Usually rain helps me sleep. I love sleeping in the rain. But we had such severe thunderstorms last night. It was the kind of thunder that rattles your house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It just makes the whole house vibrate. And this went on about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh. And just as I'd start to drift off, another boom would go off. I'm like, ah, crap. So, yeah, it's springtime in the Midwest, folks. Severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. Yep.
Bloodwing, you should film one if one comes near your house.
Oh, I would. To be honest, and I'm not bragging on it because it's really stupid. I don't show the best common sense in tornadoes of the world. That's for sure. I've been known to sit out on the front porch just to watch them.
It doesn't surprise me that you sit on a veranda in your rocking chair.
Well, there was one time we lived on a street that dead ended at some railroad tracks, but I lived on the opposite end of the block from there. Anyway, we had a tornado coming through, and I'm out on the front porch, and my wife's yelling at me to get in the house, and you know, the trees are blowing. You know, it's a wonder they're not getting blown over, and trash and debris flying everywhere. And I'm like, I'll come in a minute. I'll come in a minute. I want to watch. And it's in the middle of the night, so you really couldn't see much. And if you've ever been in or near a tornado, it gets pretty murky in the immediate area anyway because of all the dust that's picked up. And then everything stopped, dead, like the snap of a finger.
Creepy.
Yeah, that's when I decided to go inside because that's not a good sign. Not a good sign. And sure enough, as soon as I came in, all heck broke loose. Come to find out, the tornado had come all the way to the end of our block and then turned. So yeah, I don't exactly use the best common sense when it comes to weather because I'm so fascinated. I find it beautiful. I find it fascinating.
I agree. Obviously, I've never physically seen one because, you know, England.
Yeah.
With the worst weather we get here is just torrential rain and about a centimeter of snow, and the entire world ends for us. But I've been watching, you know, weather documentaries and stuff. But I love it. I think it's great. I do enjoy a thunder and lightning storm.
Oh, absolutely. And then that comes from my mother. From a very early age, you know, little kids are scared of storms. You know, that happens. And she would tell us and point out to us how beautiful it was and the beauty in the weather and all that. And we're all the same way. I get tickled when I go down to Kentucky, and they get tornadoes too in Kentucky, although not as badly as here or it's not as damaging as here because Indiana is much flatter than Kentucky. So when a tornado hits, it tends to skip from hilltop to hilltop, you know. But at the first sign of a thunderstorm, they're all running for the storm cellar. I'm like, good grief, you guys. I mean, I'm serious. You know, there's just a little lightning and some raindrops, and some of my cousins are down there already stuffed in the storm cellar, hiding in the dark. And I'm like, is there a lawn chair? I want to sit out here and watch.
I'll be back in a second, mate.
Alrighty. Festering Wound says
It's not for a wee. I'm emptying my ashtrays. Shush. Move, cat.
Try sitting in a boarded up house for 12 hours during a hurricane. I would probably do it. You know, Furry Kitten says we do get tornadoes in the UK. Quite a lot of them, however, they are pretty low intensity and short lived. Yeah,
I'm back.
Welcome back.
See, I told you it went a wee.
Well, yeah, gonna empty that ashtray, man.
Exactly. Got too many.
Satanic Cultist, I would poo myself if I saw a tornado. Oh, it's just fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. I've seen them. I've been in more than I can remember. I really don't know exactly how many I've been in. More than half a dozen, for sure. But I have seen personally, up close and personal, at least 3 in my life.
That's cool, man.
You know, and by that, you know, I seen one that came within 3 blocks of the house when I was just a young kid.
Sorry.
Seen one that we actually outraced going down the highway. Dad was driving and we raced it to church. We were on our way to church and looked over and there's a tornado. Oh, cool. Well, we better hurry up before it hits us. So we're racing down the highway to try to beat this thing. And then one other. So yeah. But it's that time of year, and it will be tornado season here through now to probably midsummer. That doesn't mean we can't get them after that. It's just that's the peak season for tornadoes.
Yeah.
Let's see. My page refreshed. I had it stopped on a story that I wanted to read you. My page refreshed itself, so I lost it. So I'm looking through. If you've got anything already pulled up, please be my guest.
I don't actually. Was in the process of just uploading that video, but it's uploaded now.
Yeah.
So a wee gander.
Oh my gosh.
I can hear your phone. Should I talk to the chat for a minute?
I have a phone call, so be right back.
All right. So unprofessional, isn't he, ladies and gentlemen? It's his live stream. He does it 3 times a week. He's off gallivanting on his cigarette on his phone. Oh dear. I only worry when the sky turns green. Bloodwing, you're telling us you live in a trailer park. I thought hurricanes was from warm waters, so summer and fall, it's all year round. I don't know. I imagine he'll answer that when he comes back. Beth Castleman, dude, how's it going? How's it going? How is everybody? How is everybody? I've produced 2 videos today. I will be releasing one after the stream, of course.
Sorry about that, folks. It was just a scam. It's just somebody went to sell credit cards or something. But I have to answer those because of a lot of times it's about my dad or about my SSA, and my phone will still say it's a scam likely. So I try to answer them all just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I swear I don't get phone calls. I do not until I start streaming. It's like they know. My phone will go days without ever ringing. Okay, where was I? All right.
You're about to read some news. I was about to grab some.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm just trying to find something that I care about. Oh, okay. Here's one.
Oh God. Yeah, I've also managed to grab one.
Wait for it to load. Come on, slow computer. Oh my God, come on.
Is your laptop being slow, mate?
Yes, but this website's full of all kinds of pop-ups and crap like that, and which just slows it down even more. Republican rescinds Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez invite to meet coal miners after it completely backfires.
Oh.
No, I don't want to register to try your website for free. Go away. I said, go away. We may not be able to read this because now it's all. Oh, there we go. All right. It didn't like that I didn't want to register. A Republican lawmaker's invitation for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to meet with coal miners in his home state of Kentucky backfired completely after the progressive Washington newcomer accepted without hesitation. Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, the youngest woman ever elected to serve in the U.S. House of Representatives, has served as a lightning rod across party lines for her Green New Deal resolution, which seeks to provide a comprehensive response to the global threat of climate change. No, it's not comprehensive because it's unviable. We can't pay for this. Andy Barr, the Kentucky Republican who initially invited the 29-year-old congresswoman to his state, said at the time that local coal miners would tell her what the Green New Deal would mean for their families, their paychecks, while suggesting the resolution could destroy their industry. To his apparent surprise, the first-term Democrat from New York immediately accepted his invitation, saying she would be happy to meet the coal miners, and noted her resolution provides pension payments for those who worked in the mining industry. And who's going to pay for that? And for those that don't know, you may not know that a good at least third, probably a half of Kentucky is very heavy into the coal mining industry. It's big business there. And being from Kentucky, I can tell you with all assurance that she's probably not going to get the response there that she thinks she will. We want a just transition to make sure we are live. Back up. Why did I say that? To make sure we are investing in jobs across those swaths of the country. Okay. She said in her response to Mr. Barr's invitation. Suddenly,
Sorry, I've got a bit of Lucozade in my stomach, or my lungs, or my lung even.
Oh, I hate that. Suddenly, that invite appears to include some caveats, and we can see which direction this writer's taking, can't we? In order to accompany her on a trip to meet with local coal miners, Mr. Barr demanded an apology from Ms. Ocasio-Cortez towards Dan Crenshaw, a Texas Republican she has criticized for sharing a false tweet that claimed Ilhan Omar denied the attacks on September 11, 2001 were an act of terror. Ms. Ocasio-Cortez has defended the Minnesota Democrat after conservatives and Donald Trump spread false and misleading information about her on Wednesday. No, it wasn't. They just retweeted her tweet. On Wednesday, it did not appear she was about to back down from that position. Luckily, we still have open borders with Kentucky. Corbin Trent, a spokesman for Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, told the court, I see what you did there. We don't need Congressman Barr to meet with coal miners and have a town hall, he added, though we'd love his participation if we do. Look, dude, I'm going to tell you, I know Kentuckians. I are one. And especially in the coal mining area of Kentucky, those are some hard scrabble people. Very hard scrabble. I don't think your brand of liberalism is going to fly very well there, but you go ahead.
Yeah.
You go ahead and see what happens. As GQ magazine reported Wednesday, Kentucky Republicans are now publicly voicing their opposition to Ms. Ocasio-Cortez headed to the bluegrass state. I think we need to be very prepared when we debate her on issues that we're having a hard time with. James Comer, a Kentucky Republican, told local news outlets, warning Republicans are making a mistake picking on her. No, we're really not. Responding to his comments on Twitter, the lawmaker wrote, GOP's getting scared that up close their constituents will realize I'm fighting harder for their health care than their own reps. No. Sweetheart, I don't think you understand what's going on there. First of all, I don't think you're understanding what's happening. But you go ahead. I would pay money to see you try to sell your brand of liberalism to a bunch of Kentucky coal miners. I would pay for that. Because it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I can't imagine somebody like AOC trying to sell her particular brand of progressivism to people in a red state, especially people in a hardened coal mining town.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's areas of Kentucky's coal mining district that I'm afraid to go in. That's how rough and tumble and hard these people are. Hazard County, where the Dukes of Hazzard are supposedly based. Yeah, that's coal mining country, people. And it is every bit as rough as you've heard. Oh my. Yeah, you go ahead, AOC. Yeah, you go.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I can just imagine her standing up on a stage in front of these people and then just all sat there, looking, just unamused, and then chuck in some shit at her.
She'll be lucky if that's all they do. I mean, these are the kind of people that will disappear you and not think twice. A Random American brings up a good point. Do you think she'd actually be meeting with actual coal miners? Oh, I'm pretty sure that if they have a town meeting in there, they will be very selective of the people that they bring in. Yeah, very selective.
It's just like one old lady sat at the back.
Yeah.
The rest of the seats are empty.
No, they'll probably bust some people in from some liberal state and put a little dirt on their face so they look like they were just in the coal mine. And
yeah.
It's a lot like when I worked for FedEx. FedEx is not union, and it's very anti-union. They try hard to keep the union out, but it's okay because they have things in place within the company that does exactly what a union would do. Company arbitrations and so forth that are headed by a panel of actual employees, and so forth. But I remember years ago when I worked there, they were the union, the Teamsters was trying to get in. And in the news, they tried to make it look like, oh, look at all the people that are protesting, wanting the Teamsters union. And having crossed that line myself, I can tell you, everyone, and it was found out later, every one of those people were bussed in from Ohio. They were bussed in. Not a one of them were local people.
That's ridiculous.
But that's the way they work. So yeah. Anyway, you've got a story too now.
I managed to grab a couple off of Reddit, which I thought would be suitable for the stream.
Yep.
By the way, guys, follow Irate Alex, the Twitter account. It's at Irate Alex. Go give it a follow, guys. It's keeps you up to date on all of the goings on of my second channel. Okay, the news. Woman beats boyfriend with his prosthetic leg after he tried to break up with her.
Okay.
Oh, God. This sounds like a comedy skit. A New Orleans area woman who beat up her ex-boyfriend with his own prosthetic leg earlier this year because he tried to break up with her was arrested last Wednesday. On February 11th, Michelle Jackson, 58, was drinking with her now ex-boyfriend when he told her he wanted to see someone else. Captain Jason Rivard said, the man went to sleep without incident, but awoke the next morning with an injured hand and a large cut on his head that was dripping blood. So she went after him whilst he was asleep and he didn't wake up. Probably ended up knocking him out with it, I guess.
I think I've told you the story before, but I have a cousin. Well, I had a cousin. He's gone now. But who years ago woke up with a headache and didn't know why. He found out later the reason why is because his wife had shot him in the head while he slept.
Oh, wow.
And
He survived that?
yes, he did.
God damn.
Yeah, well, we rednecks are hard-headed folk, and it bounced off his skull and traveled. It literally traveled a circle around and came out the other side. So he had quite the scar, yeah, but yeah, it didn't penetrate his skull.
Wow. Just headbutted it. Ugh. You're not shooting me today.
He just woke up later, had blood all over, and a massive headache. Didn't know why. Stumbled outside and collapsed in the front yard.
Damn.
So yeah, they did get a divorce, by the way.
They did.
They did, yes.
Oh, I should hope so as well. Jackson, who had left before authorities arrived, allegedly told a relative she had beat the man with his prosthetic leg and thought she had killed him. Well, yeah. The woman allegedly told police that she had stabbed him, but Rivard said there was no evidence.
James, real quick, James Colley says, so 22? No, actually, it was a 38, believe it or not. Yeah, and I'm as shocked as you did. I mean, I joke, but I'm as shocked as any of you are that it didn't go through his head. But
So
yeah, go ahead, Bear.
Just imagine this lady sharpening this guy's prosthetic leg, getting ready to stab him with it. You're going to learn today. U.S. Marshals arrested Jackson in her home Wednesday. New Orleans Fox 8 reported she was booked into the Jefferson Parish Correctional Center on an aggravated battery charge without bond. That lady's crazy.
Yeah. I'll rip your leg off and beat you with it.
She thought she'd basically killed him. But don't hit him with a bloody prosthetic leg then.
No kidding.
Some of these things are made out of metal.
Yeah.
You're doing hitting him over the head with it as well.
Yeah. I mean,
ball bag.
What you think was going to happen?
Rude. He's asleep as well. I have another crazy bitch story.
Okay.
This is coming from ABC 13. Eyewitness News. Woman says meth shards in purse are healing crystals.
Meth shards are healing crystals?
Apparently.
Alrighty then. There's a lot of people here in my city that will be glad to hear that.
I don't know whether she's saying that the meth shards themselves also double up as healing crystals, or whether it's her alibi that she was accused of it and said, no, it's not meth, they're actually healing crystals.
Well, let's find out. It's
a very short article. Police say a woman tried to tell them the shards of meth in her purse were really healing. Oh, okay. She tried to BS her way out of that one. Friendswood police said they stopped Cactus Calderas. Is that her name? After she failed to signal a lane change. Is that her name?
Cactus? I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm going to copy and paste her name into the chat and you tell me.
Yeah, that's Cactus. Cactus Calderas.
With a name like that,
well,
it doesn't surprise me she had meth in her back.
My niece named her kids after SUVs, so I'm not surprised.
Officers said she looked nervous, but gave police permission to search her vehicle. Police said they found the meth in her purse, along with butane lighters and a small pipe. Calderas is charged with possession of a controlled substance. I swear, officer, they're healing crystals.
They're healing crystals. Yeah. It's my rheumatism medicine.
Oh, you silly cow. I think the police might have an idea of what crack, what meth looks like, and other drugs in general. I'm fairly sure they get some kind of training. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
You're not fooling anyone, Cactus.
Not fooling anyone, you know.
With your bag of goodies. Oh, good grief. I have one more, unless you have something else.
Well, here's a story I would like to read, but can't because it's the Washington Post, and we all know that they're behind a paywall.
I did send you an article in DMs, actually, because I couldn't access one.
Oh, okay. I'll look at that.
Because I live in the European Economic Area.
Washington State Senate passes vaccine bill in rebuke to anti-vaxxers. I'd love to read that article, but I refuse to pay for it. Sorry.
Fair enough.
No, go ahead, Bear.
Oh, you want me to read this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Parents sue son's football club for emotional abuse. Can you guess how they emotionally, allegedly, quote unquote, emotional abused him? This is soccer, by the way.
RJ Bansmith, that was my niece, not my daughter. And yes, she literally did. But no, I can't guess. Not a clue.
I'll give you. I'll let the chat decide. Anyone in the chat guess what kind of emotional abuse this soccer team or football club, if you're British, exposed this child to? Criticizing him? No. Mr. Dax gets it. They benched him. They substituted him.
Oh, good grief.
That's emotional abuse in the UK. That doesn't surprise me, considering that my stepson was taught in his school that if I didn't give him access to his mobile device and weekly pocket money, that would be abuse.
Oh, good grief. Go ahead and read this, and then I'll tell you a story. Because in my younger days, I coached a lot of sports for my son, different sports. So,
yeah. An amateur football club has been fined 3,000 Great British pounds after a boy was substituted during a summer tournament. Really? Winnerish Rangers were sued by the family of the boy, 10, who claimed he was the victim of emotional abuse. They took the case to court in Reading, Berkshire, and were successful. Because that's the world that we're living in these days, guys. You can now sue your child's, sports team if they substitute him or bench him, because that is emotional abuse. I mean, never mind the fact that there are other players that are already sat on the bench ready to go play. We should ignore them, and not take players off. But okay. The club's director said they knew nothing about it until they received a letter informing them of the fine issued at the county court. The boy was substituted during a pre-season tournament in 2018 while playing for the Aztec youth side. Despite the substitution, he was signed up for training for the new season by his dad and was suddenly removed in September, and the family got a refund. His dad accused the club of racially targeting the boy and reported them to the council's child protection department, as well as taking them to court. Or maybe the kid looked tired, or wanted to give the other kids a turn. Because there are other children, on the team. They've probably got 5 substitutes or whatever, maybe more.
Right.
And what about the substitute goalkeeper? Goalkeepers barely ever get a chance to get on, especially during a tournament match. Good grief. Or maybe he was just shit. Yeah, maybe that was the case.
Yeah,
maybe he was just garbage.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, I coached a lot of sports, and at one point I was coaching a basketball team that my son played on. It was a co-ed basketball team, so both boys and girls could play. We didn't have very many girls in the team, but they were allowed to if they wanted, because it really doesn't make a lot of difference at that age. It was 4th, 5th, and 6th graders.
Yeah.
So ages 9 through 11, say. And it was kind of a big deal because it was at my old grade school, but it was the last year that they were going to be open. They then closed it down as a regular grade school and turned it into a school for troubled children, people with behavior problems.
Yeah.
But when they had the draft, and they did have a draft, where the coaches would come in and pick the people they wanted on their team.
Mm-hmm.
I had to work. I was unable to be there. So they picked for me.
Yeah.
Imagine my shock that almost everyone on my team, with the exception of a couple of people, my son being one, were people with major attitude and behavior problems. They were all the kids that nobody else wanted.
Right.
Imagine my shock. Funny thing is, to skip ahead a little bit, and then I will come back. I took that team to second place in the tournament.
Hey. got the bad boys at second place.
You betcha. And
what was that movie with Keanu Reeves? When they had to replace the foosball team with a bunch of rejects. What was that film called?
Oh, I don't remember.
It had Reese Ifans in it. And the guy from Evolution, the movie, the black guy, I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
The Replacements. That's a great movie as well, by the way.
Yeah, I took that team to second place in the tournament, and we were, as I recall, undefeated during regular season. So, awesome. Yeah, but one of the kids not only had behavioral problems, but he had emotional problems. He was probably on the spectrum and whatnot, but he wanted to play, and we'll give him play. And his name was Robert, and no one had ever been able to make any headway with Robert. He'd been on different teams before, and having been raised around because of my sister, around a lot of people that had emotional and mental issues, different levels of retardation. And no, I'm not sorry I used that word. That's what it was called. And different things. I had a clue on how to handle people like that. But I tried very hard. I made a very conscious effort that everybody got equal time, And yes, sometimes I got grief by my star players. Why are you taking me out? I'm on a roll. Well, because so-and-so here needs to get time to play. We all need to get equal time.
Yeah.
But with Robert, he would get an attitude and misbehave and act up on the bench and everything. And I would just flat tell him, Robert, I'm not going to put you in until you quit. Until you behave like a good little boy. You're not getting in the game. And that's just the way it is. And then he would settle down, and I'd look at him. Are you ready to play, Robert? Yeah, coach, I'm ready to go. Okay. And he would put his all into it. I put him in one time. I tried to keep it simple for him. I said, I pointed out this kid on the other team. I said, you see that kid, Robert? All I want you to do is make sure that he doesn't get the ball. And if he gets the ball, make sure he's not able to pass it to someone else. Tried to keep it simple for him. That's all I want you to worry about. So he goes in, and we're playing, and all of a sudden the whole crowd is just laughing. I'm like, what's going on? What are they laughing about? And I look over, and Robert has the kid that I pointed out to him trapped in the corner of the court and won't let him out.
Oh, dear.
He's got his arms out, like blocking him, like, no. And everybody's just cracking up, laughing. I'm like, I hollered over, Robert, it's okay. You can let him out now. But good job. Thumbs up. Anyway, at the end of the year, I took a very hard stance with Robert. I wouldn't let him in if he didn't behave. At the end of the year, and this meant more for me than any of the trophies that I got, during the whole thing. His parents came up to me and said, we want to say that we really appreciate you, and we hope that you coach again next year. And if you do, we hope Robert gets on your team, because no one has ever been able to do with Robert what you've done this year.
Awesome. That must have felt good.
Yeah. And all I did was just treat him like the rest of the kids. Hey, if you act like a good kid and you show an interest in the game and in doing the best you can, I will put you in. I'll give you equal time, no matter what your skill level is.
Bloodwing then proceeded to cry, and Paul Joseph Watson came along and called him a beta cuck.
No, I didn't cry, but yeah, it did mean a lot to me. It meant more than any of the trophies. So yeah, you bunch of snowflakes. There are lots of reasons that the kid might have got benched.
Exactly. And what kind of message does this give our kids? You know, what kind of message does it send to our kids? Oh, you didn't get your way, sue.
Yeah.
Lawsuit. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Which is exactly why, I told basketball wasn't the only sport I coached. I coached football and baseball as well over different periods, but I quit coaching baseball because, oh my gosh, those parents are the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd think football, being physical like it is, American football,
Yeah.
would be. No, it was the best. Football parents are great.
Mm.
They're absolutely great. Baseball parents, not so much. They will scream and holler and cuss at other little kids. They want to know why their kid isn't, my kid can pitch. Why haven't you got him pitching? Because this kid's better.
That sounds like a bigger headache than it's worth.
It was. I coached baseball, I think, a couple of years, and then I said, nope, no more. I'm sticking to basketball and football. But
yeah. That does sound a lot better, in my opinion. Doing the one where the parents are actually pretty decent about it. I continue reading because the article does go on.
Didn't mean to sidetrack us there, but yeah, it made me think.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. It's fine. Club secretary Phil Chick said they were disappointed to lose the player and conducted 2 investigations alongside Berkshire FA, who cleared the club of any offences. Although the FA cleared the club, the Football Association cleared the club, but they still got freaking sued. Mr. Chick, who is also a manager of under-10s football team at the club, said, the most important thing for us as a club is the children. We want them to enjoy playing football. If they are a good player, that is purely a bonus for us. He added substitutions are just part of the game, which they absolutely are. It happens every single football match. People get substituted.
Yeah.
For numerous reasons. If you're playing like crap, if you're too tired, if it could be very well a part of your strategy for all we know. And this is kids. These are kids doing it for Pete's sake. Giving the other children a chance to have a go.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, sports, especially for kids, is self-esteem building. It's team building.
At that age, at a young age, like the age of kids that I coach, it's important that they get equal time. Now, I'm not a fan of participation trophies. Screw that. No. But I do think the kids, because at that point, it should be about having fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should be about, there's enough time to get serious, really serious about it as they get older, and into older sports teams, and then you start to have to realize, well, the best players are going to get the most time,
mm-hmm.
And so on. But yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, especially if the kids are under 10.
Yeah.
I'm not asked about that, to just let them get out there and build their dexterity and their, balance and stuff like that, Yeah. Just let them go out there and just learn how to play the game and just have a good time. Pre-teens and teens. All right, let's start having a bit of, competitiveness and learning to lose and things like that, because that's also important, I believe. And working as a proper team. But yeah, if they're under 10, they're just kids,
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Chick said he couldn't believe the club had been fined, but they will appeal. I bloody well hope so. He added, losing thousands of pounds is a big hit for a local club like ours. Yeah, because £3,000 for a tiny local kids team, that's a big that's a big deal. That's a lot of money.
It is, yeah.
They'd be lucky to raise that for their own team in a 6-month period. I mean, my local football team, they have the kids part of it. They do have the adult part as well. It's just your local Sunday league stuff and then the kids side of it and whatnot. And what they do is they take the kids out to raise money, and what they do is they go to local supermarkets, so like Morrison's, and they have them on the tills and offering to help people bag their shopping in exchange for donations.
Yeah.
So again, teaching them personal responsibility, and working for money, basically. They probably wouldn't even raise £3,000 in one day, so that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money. Where was I? Losing thousands of pounds is a big hit for a local club like ours. I'm confident we can challenge the ruling in court and get our money back. I really hope so.
Yeah.
So far, we haven't seen any documentation, so we don't know the full facts of the allegations. All we know is that the parent had accused the club of emotional abuse and racism against his son. Because they put him on the bench? What grounds do you have to have the cheek and audacity to accuse them of racism for that? Shut up.
I told my kids on that basketball team, look, you guys are my team one. You're my team two. Now, team two, you are just as important as team one. Team one will start, and get things rolling. But it's important for you to go out and make sure that we maintain any lead that we have. And I'm counting on you to do that.
Yeah.
Just because you're not the starter don't mean you're not as important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good grief. What's with people today?
The article finishes off with, it's a shame because it feels like the child has been forgotten in all of this. Absolutely. He's now lost out because of his moronic parents. He's now lost out on something that he probably enjoyed. And he won't benefit from the perks of being a part of something like that now. He can no longer play football for his local team because of this. The club will challenge the ruling at Reading County Court on May 2nd. And can you believe that I'm receiving a phone call?
Yeah.
Give me a second, mate. Sorry.
All righty. Well, we'll take this minute to talk to chat. I hope everybody's still doing good. How you doing? We've got 72 watching, 37 likes. We can do better than that. I believe. Hope everybody's having a pretty good day. Bansma, I agree. Yeah. Sports parents can be pretty vicious and pretty bad. I mean, I've had some good experiences coaching, and I had some bad experiences coaching. But yeah, switching people in and out, that's just a part of sports. It's a part of it. Big Chief Fuzzy Beard of Gulf City, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Sorry, I'm back.
Friends. No problem. Absolutely no problem. So was that the end of the story, Bear?
That was the end of the story. And just to let you know who called me, it was Drunken Uncle who just phoned me. And I told him I was streaming. And he went, what are you doing answering the phone during a stream? You're unprofessional after I gave you shit for being unprofessional. Oh, God.
RJ Bansman, which story are you talking about, sweetheart?
She probably I think she tagged you in it on Twitter, mate.
Me on Twitter, and I probably, yeah. I have a hard time keeping up with Twitter and doing the stream at the same time. So
I've got to read this article. I'm sorry, but I've got to read it.
All righty.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
I'm not. I need to pop out the chat. There we go. Put it on live chat. There we are. Okay. This is from glamourfame.com. It was shared on Reddit, people. Don't give me shit. Single mum impressed by Tinder man's home finds out he's posing in IKEA.
Alrighty then. While you're reading this, I'm going to have to, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I got to go back to the bathroom again, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a double whammy.
Yeah, you get a twofer today.
It's a double tinkle. Oh, the cheek on this guy. A single mum who was intrigued by a man's home finds out he took the photos in IKEA. Illusion 100. Absolutely, arm skiller. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Natasha Reid was truly oozed Interesting use of the word there. When she swiped on Lee's profile on Tinder. In fact, the dating profile of the hunk, is filled with photos showing him lounging around in style in his elegantly furnished home. Oh, God. The prankster is showcased studying in a well-appointed office surrounded by scores of books. He's wearing a hoodie in there, though. Come on. You should have realized by what he was wearing. The other photo shows him deep in thought as he brandishes a paintbrush. Oh, that's amazing. Oh. He's trying to sell himself as this intellectual businessman type, and he's sat there painting. Oh, that's amazing. The prankster showcase studying in a well-appointed office surrounded by scores of books. The other photo shows him deep in thought as he brandishes a paintbrush at a desk surrounded by arts and crafts gear. The dating app photo ensemble also includes pictures which see him cozying up in bed. He got in bed in IKEA. Musing in a chair, and also one pulling a cheeky pose as he sits on the loo. Wait, where's that? I want to see that picture. Wait, what? I don't think that. Oh, come on! He took a picture of him sat on the toilet, and you still fell for it. Come on. And the bed's a single bed as well, by the looks of it. Oh my God, this guy's awesome. This woman obviously likes good quality toilets and hunky men sitting on them. However, only afterward of the match good English there, Glamour fame, that Natasha took notice of the Dream Man bio on the app. She then discovered that Lee, 28, had mentioned that he was a fan of taking photos in IKEA. He's an IKEA enthusiast. In fact, that was when the penny dropped and she came to the realization that the pics were all a brilliant joke. Well, one of the pictures was him sat on the toilet. Oh my God. This guy's amazing, by the way, Bloodwing.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Despite the unbelievable turnout, 24-year-old Natasha claims that Lee was the most unique of her matches by far, as he stands out from the crowd with his hilarious photos. I don't know if I'd smash her or not. I'm going to put it to you, Bloodwing, and the chat if you'd like to share and present me to the people, and tell me whether you would. I think I would. I'm not sure whether I'd date her though.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty enough. There's just something about her that makes me question whether or not she's
morbidly obese.
No, I think that's probably in her future. That she's female. Is what I'm saying. But yeah,
I probably would. I do like thicker chicks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, yeah. I do too.
Yeah. Where was I? Where was I? Hello, photos. Yeah. Natasha, a resident of Inglefield, Surrey, doxed, maintained it's 100% a good way to stand out on Tinder. Even if he and I never go on a date, he will definitely get one with a profile like that. She added, I can't even remember some of my other matches, so I think this one will stay with me. Rightly so as well. He deserves it. At first, I didn't understand what they were because they just seemed like really odd pictures. Then it dawned on me that all of the furniture looked amazing in this place. Natasha said, I thought it was so funny. We have all at some point walked around IKEA and wanted to act like it was our house. I literally swiped right and we matched straight away. So I messaged him to tell him the pictures had made my day. He messaged me back, seemingly very proud of them. And of course, I'll get the picture of him on the toilet. Oh, there we go. If you wanted to present me again there, Mr. Wing.
You sure that's not you?
It's not me. I can't grow a beard like that.
Okay.
you saw a guy with massive hair, then that would probably be me. She also mentioned that her favorite pics are of Lee cozying up to a teddy bear in bed and the brazen snap of him on the toilet. Oh, dear. She went on to say the way he's looking in surprise and he's got his hand over his mouth like he's just been caught on the toilet is really good. I think IKEA should take him up on being a sort of live mannequin because he pulled it off very well. She's a single mum, of course. Natasha, who is a full-time carer, shared Lee's profile online, and the social media users urged her to marry the creative profiled guy. Moreover, she went on to extended lengths to complement the creativity even more. It doesn't say whether she showed any interest or went on a date.
Yeah, that's what inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, well, I want to know whether they hooked up.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Kind of anticlimactic, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I just wanted to know whether she'd gone on a date with him or not. I mean, at least she messaged him to tell him that she thought his profile pictures were awesome. You know, she could have just like not done that.
I don't know. I've never been in a store like IKEA or anything like that and wanted to act like it was my house. I can't say that, but okay. Each his own.
I've been in some furniture stores before where they have like bedroom mock-ups and kitchen mock-ups and stuff, and I just like looking at stuff like that. And I really, really wanted to get into one of the beds. Oh dear. It wasn't specified in the article whether they went on a date or not. I hope they did.
Yeah.
They went on a date to IKEA.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Mr. Wing.
What?
I have some horrific news.
Oh no. What?
Absolutely horrific. Wait a minute. This is old. Why is this shared? Oh, I thought this was new. I do recognize this. Do you remember the news story from nearly 3 years back about the woman who quit her job so she could breastfeed her boyfriend every 2 hours?
Oh, I think maybe. I'm not sure.
It's from June 2016, and I'm fairly sure that I have at least spoke about this on a stream before. So, Faithless remembers that one. I'll link it in the chat. I don't really want to read it again because I do remember it. If anybody wants to go look at it, that's disappointing. I thought that was a new article, but it's not. That's just people. I'm not joking. Go look at the article. It's linked, guys. Oh God.
Yeah. RJ Bansma, I looked at the article. I don't know that everybody'd be interested in American pickup trucks. It's just an article on the truck. But you are more than welcome to put the link in the chat if people want to, if people are interested and want to look at that. I mean, not everybody's a redneck like me and like pickup trucks. I do have something, though, if that was the end of that one.
Yeah, sure.
Campaign donations from Ilhan Omar rejected by at least 2 Democrats.
Oh, damn. The shade.
Yeah. And I think it's only going to get better, folks. At least 2 Democrats have reimbursed the campaign contributions made by Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat, Minnesota, who has been at the center of numerous controversies since she was sworn in as a freshman congresswoman last January. Congresswoman, that's sexist. Use more inclusive language. What's the matter with you?
I know, right?
Congressperson. North Carolina's 9th congressional district candidate Dan McCready refunded $2,000 to Omar in March after she donated to his campaign last November ahead of the 2018 midterms, WSOC reported Wednesday. A spokesman for McCready told the news station he'd refunded Omar's contribution because he believes there is no place for divisiveness in politics, and McCready did not feel it appropriate to accept the donation. Good on you, dude. Good on you. A spokesman from McCready told the news station he'd refunded Omar's contribution. I just tried to read the same paragraph again. My gosh. A winner still has not been declared in the 9th congressional district race, which became ensnared in accusations of absentee ballot fraud after Election Day. Imagine my shock. Representative Lucy McBath, Democrat Georgia, also rejected Omar's $2,000 donation that was made March 27th. The Washington Free Beacon initially reported McBath was one of 2 Democrats in Congress who did not disclose the contributions made by the Minnesota Congresswoman in their quarterly fundraising reports. Members of McBath's campaign, however, told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution they didn't disclose the donation because they decided to reject it. The other Democrat who did not disclose the donation was Connecticut Representative Johanna Hayes, whose campaign told the Free Beacon that Omar's contribution would be included in its next fundraising report. The campaign said it was absolutely not an effort to keep it hidden. No, of course it wasn't. The Minnesota lawmaker had been condemned for what critics have called anti-Semitic remarks about supporters of Israel. More recently, she took heat, including from President Trump, for a line in a speech she gave to the Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR. She said in her defense of the organization that CAIR was founded after September 11, 2001, because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties. CAIR formed in 1994. Critics said her line, some people did something, was insulting to victims of the terrorist attacks. Fox News did not receive an immediate response from McCready or McBath's campaigns. So yeah, some of her fellow Democrats are saying to her money, thanks, but no thanks. Don't want to be associated with you. And honestly, I think it's only going to get worse or better depending on your viewpoint.
Yeah. Oh dear. Did you have a story today, mate?
I did, but I told you to remember what what it was about. Remember?
I can't remember.
I don't. Chat, do you remember what had me thinking about a story? Because it might jog my memory. I'm sorry. Told you I have a bad memory. I like to think it's not because I'm old. It's just because I have so much knowledge up in the old noggin that some of it just gets pushed out, you know.
Of course, that's it.
Yeah. Cynical Lindsay, I think it's safe to say a good majority of us will have our popcorn ready and out. Yeah. No, it wasn't about the tornadoes or the coal miners. Oh, geez, I can't remember what it was. I hate my memory sometimes. It really is frustrating. I'm going to have to start writing it down. I'm going to have to keep me a little bitty notepad here next to my chair to write things down when I get reminded of them, so I don't forget by the end of the stream, because in my old man brain, 2 hours is a long time to keep something in there. But in case I remember it here in a minute, we can open it up to question time.
Yeah, why not? Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So questions.
Questions from the chat, if you will, guys.
Yeah.
My the video that I'm going to release on Irate Alex after the stream has been demonetized.
It has, huh?
Yeah. So annoying when that happens.
Yeah.
Not many of my videos on that channel get demonetized, you see, or hit by the bot.
Right. I on my channel for a time there, I just got to where I expected it. Like I've mentioned before, when I done my NFL streams, which were just about and absolutely said. I mean, I know you don't know anything about football, but you did listen to a little bit of them. You would pop in once in a while. And I made it very clear there is to be no politics on this stream. It's NFL only.
Mm-hmm.
And they would get demonetized before they were even uploaded.
Yeah, that tends to happen with episodes of Ghost Poo as well. Before they've even processed, they've often demonetized.
Yeah.
Can my second channel have a wrench, please?
Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Let me scroll so it doesn't jump out of my way and I wrench somebody I didn't intend to. There it is.
Thank you. Question for Ira Bear and Bloodwing. Can I send you a present? You'd both love shot of Palinka, Hungarian fruit brandy. Well, I don't have my PO box anymore, mate.
Yeah, and I don't. I would be glad to, but I don't have a PO box.
Yeah.
Period.
If my main channel Ira Bear continues to grow and continues to do well, and I start doing a lot better in terms of views and earning ad revenue and donations and stuff, then I probably will reopen a PO box.
If I get enough interest in people wanting to send me things via PO box, I might go get one. But as it is right now, no, I don't.
Yeah,
Don't have one, and it's not that I don't trust you, Owen, but I don't trust anybody with my. Well, let's say very few people. Alex here knows my real name and has seen my real address, and Dax has, and a few other people, but Cryptic by accident.
Yeah, good thing about me, mate, is I have an awful memory, so I can't remember your address.
Yeah, he swears he doesn't remember what it is. He swears he doesn't. But,
Well, I can't. I genuinely can't.
well, I wouldn't care if you did. I know yours, so.
Yeah, but I've doxed myself that many times. I'm surprised nobody's actually said my surname or address. But mind you, I do have my channel set so that if somebody does, it gets blocked immediately anyway. Have I ever been on a submarine? Yes, technically I have been on a submarine.
I have too, technically, but
it wasn't a in-service one.
yeah, neither was.
It wasn't a museum either. It was one of the subs that they'd taken out of service and just dumped on the dockyard. And we got to have a look around that. And the older type of submarines, I would not have liked to have served in one of them.
Yeah.
Just so tight, it's ridiculous.
One I was in, I was at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, which is an amazing place, people. You ever get the chance to go. But understand this, when you go, you will not see everything in one day. Just no way. But in the basement, they had an actual German U-boat that had been captured in World War II.
In the basement?
Yes.
There's a submarine in the basement, lads.
They allowed you to tour through the U-boat.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
It was. I mean, I understood that things on a submarine are cramped, but I didn't have any idea how cramped. And you walk through that thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're ridiculous, man. I mean, the warships have lips on their doors, so you have to like lift your leg up as you go through them, right. And that's obviously for watertight integrity. But subs, the one that I went on, the lip was up to my knee. So trying to get through, every couple of meters or so was just a pain in the ass.
That would be bad for me because I'm clumsy and I would bang my shins on every one of them. Yeah.
And you've got to sort of lower your head as well, so you bang your head on the top of the bloody door.
Yeah. That museum is just absolute. I've been there twice in my life. I went one time in ninth grade. Our class, that was our class field trip in ninth grade. And then I went once after I was older with my sister and brother-in-law and the kids that we had at the time. And it's just a fascinating place. little bit of everything there. Why not man submarines with dwarves? Hey, they don't, but it only makes sense, right?
They can't get over the lips and the doors.
They have to crawl over.
They'll have to pole vault.
But it would be hilarious to watch.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be amazing.
It would be absolutely amazing.
Mm. The midget marines.
We've got to make that a thing. The midget marines. Oh my gosh. Somebody with more technical expertise than I have, please make that happen.
Why have you put pirate, Alex? It's irate, Alex. You ever see someone get knocked out jumping through a hatch? I did knocked out cold, not me, another guy. No, but I did serve with a lad who was so tall he would bang his head going through a lot of the doors. Yeah. I once saw a man pulled out of a kidney hatch by his hair.
Yeah.
I friggin' hate kidney hatches, man. It's so small.
I'm not incredibly tall. I'm 6 foot tall. But that's tall enough that I've sure banged my head on a lot of low objects. And I've almost been there, dang near knocked myself out a few times. Rise up really quick and not realize that the ceiling is as short as it is.
I'm surprised I didn't die in the bloody Navy, the amount of accidents I had flying down ladders and whatnot. How small is a kidney hatch, if you don't mind me asking? They're quite small. I mean, I don't know the exact measurements, but you've probably seen my videos on Irate Alex, so you have a pretty good idea of how broad I am. There was a period of time for about a week, where we had to use the kidney hatch to get in and out of our mess deck, and because they removed the other ladder, and obviously you'd have to go for a shower and whatnot, and we'd have to climb up out of the kidney hatch into the chief mess deck, which was above us. And obviously I wouldn't have a t-shirt on or anything like that. I'd just have a towel around me, and I'd have to lower one shoulder and raise the other to get through it. Festering wound, I swear to God. You get pushed into a muddy puddle, mate.
What? The Skoda Octavia?
Yeah. Why would no.
Questions quickly, guys. Almost. Hey, you know that fellow Irate Alex? He just uploaded a video.
That's right. I just uploaded my video. I just made it public over on Irate Alex, and it's all about the Eric Butts Star Wars trailer reaction, and it's been demonetized.
Cynical Lindsay Ford Pinto. You mean you mean the flaming Pinto? Because they were well known to blow up in a rear-end collision.
I have not watched B porn. And Alex, the Google wrote it as pirate. I said irate, but voice to text sucks. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You use that, don't you?
What, voice to text?
Yeah.
When I text my kids, yeah, because I am the world's worst texter. My thumbs don't cooperate at all. I watched J-Kid text, and his fingers are a blur, and not a typo in the whole message. I just don't get it. I don't know how he does it. I'm like, hey.
Hey, he's a lot more used to it than you are, you know?
Yeah. And having said that, we are at the end of it, folks. Another stream in the bag.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you, chat, for coming out and supporting me in all the ways that you can support. Thank you for those that were able to make donations. And thank you, even if you weren't, just coming out and watching the stream supports me a great deal. So thank you. Thank you, Bear, as always. Anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, my latest video that I've just released on RA Alex. It's now linked to the chat, guys. Go give it a watch, please.
Yeah.
Please watch it all the way through before you get triggered by me criticizing Paul Joseph Watson.
Trigger warning. Yeah, thanks everybody. And I was able to get in the spirit. Thank you guys. You helped me get in the spirit. I woke up just feeling meh. I don't care. Nothing. And by the end of it, I'm feeling a lot happier. So thank you. Batman, can anyone else see Bloodwing behind the wheel of a Ford Edsel? Hey, I could. Somebody want to give me one? I'll take it.
You will as well.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Redneck Radio. Join us again on Saturday, 2:30 EST, the regular time. And as always, get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.